Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back to Steel Mountain Moto.
This is where we're going to share a little bit of our knowledge, our miles that we put in. We've been doing this for a while. We've been crushing a lot of miles, and we need to do it in comfort. So what's the one thing that we hear when we go to meets and everything, when we talk about our travels?
The first thing we hear out of everyone's mouth, we tell them what we've gone X amount of miles, is how do you guys do it?
How do you guys do it? Well, we do it by being comfortable, by buying a few accessories or getting a few things that are going to make our motorcycle a lot more ergonomic, a lot more comfortable for a longer trip. So the biggest thing is being comfortable while we're on that ride, no matter what. If you're the toughest guy in the world, if you're sore, if you're tired, if things just aren't right and you're irritated, you know, like a pee under your mattress and it's driving you nuts all night,
You're not going to get very far.
You're not going to get very far. So we've kind of compiled a list of things. These are going to be 5 different things that we can do for under $200 that are going to make you a lot more comfortable. They're going to be able to let you crush those miles and do it in style.
Absolutely. You're going to go from just going on your Sunday cruise right around the block to that coffee shop to going across country now.
Yeah. So let's get into it.
So first up, what we're going to talk about is your grips. This is what you hold on to on the bike, right? These are, I think people forget about the grips a lot, that you actually can change it out. People typically only change the grips out when they change out their entire handlebar setup, where that's not really the case. You don't really need to do that because you didn't do that on your bike.
No, I kept the bars, the risers, everything the same. But one thing with the Harley-Davidson grip is they're more about aesthetics, and Harley-Davidson does great in selling you accessories. So there's a whole different kit that I could put on. I could do a different grip. I can combine that with my floorboards, my shifters, all kinds of things. But the thing that we don't keep in mind is actually, and I've got some pretty good beefy hands, but one thing that I find really irritating over time and makes my hands numb is just the girth of this handle. Right? It's a lot to hold on to, okay? The other thing is they're hard, right? They're a hard plastic, there's metal components. The grips are hard themselves and really hard to hold on to.
They are.
They are. So one big thing is the actual size of this thing is 1 1/2 inches across here, okay? And again, for a regular sized guy, I've got a pretty good, again, beefy hand, and that is a lot for me to hold on to. Also, that being hard, a lot of the vibrations and everything come through your hands, numb you out, and your hands just hurt. So maybe a half hour, maybe an hour in, you're okay. But if you're 2, 3, 4, 7, 10 hours on a bike, these things will kill you. So one thing that we have done is we've gone through a couple of different options.
One of them being
One of this is thrashing. So for me, I like to try out different things. They're fairly inexpensive when we look at them, okay? Now, if you have a 2024 and newer, 23.5 and newer Road Glide, you will have to get the tube from Thrashing as well with the new end piece on it. Ask us in the comments. We'll teach you more about that if you need to. But these are super thin. They are just like a motocross style grip. They are a motocross style grip. They're 1 1/4 inches around. So basically, you're just holding onto that bar. Now, I put 7,000 to 10,000 kilometers on these, I would think.
That's a decent ride.
So lots of riding. The only thing is they're very thin. Okay, so they still do give us a little bit of that vibration, but I found these really, really nice for that grip size, and it allowed me to hold on. My hands didn't get numb. They were quite nice.
Still one step above OEM.
Yeah, it's like a big difference between OEM and just the materials and everything are completely different. And then what Marcus and I have both decided on is a Vans grip. And Marcus, why do we like these?
So I like the Vans grips a lot because they bring back a little bit of homage to the skateboard culture. So Vans will have the grip of what's typically on their shoes right on the grip themselves. And they look great, they feel great. They're a little bit thicker than these Thrashing ones, I'd say. How thick was that measurement?
They are actually thicker, believe it or not, thicker than your OEM. Your OEM is 1 1/2 inches. The Vans grips are actually a little bit thicker, but the difference is in the material.
Yeah.
So these are actually 1 9/16 of an inch thick, so just a little bit more than 1 1/2 inches. But the material that they're made out of really allows you to grip into it and really feel like you're holding onto a smaller grip.
And that's super helpful because when we carve up corners and you're typically like in a low gear, high RPM, after a few minutes, your hand's going to start to go numb with all those vibrations. that's when the Vans grips really come into play.
And you're squeezing the hell out of your handlebars too.
Yeah,
That's the biggest thing.
You're absolutely gripping that grip. So yeah, they make a huge difference, especially when you go for a nice thick grip. Again, it is user preference because it also comes down to like if you ride with gloves, without gloves. Some people will
bigger
like
hands, smaller hands,
yeah,
all those things.
A various amount of things, but personally, my favorite is the Vans. I've had that on every bike I've owned as of yet. Yeah. So I would say that's my go-to. At least that's my huge preference. Again, we're not endorsed or sponsored by any of these companies.
Well, we'd love to be.
We would love to.
But Vans, cheap, really cheap. You can slide them on. We should take them through some neat little tricks to get them on, but that'll be another video. Anyway, so super cheap, reliable, soft, cozy. We love them. Vans grips, they're on the list.
Get them.
Next we have on our comfort list of things you must have, under 200, probably
the
cheapest things on the list, and probably the one thing that is going to make you stay sane while you're out on that long ride.
And it works on every single bike in the world.
It can work on every bike. It can work for anything you go to. If you go to a motorcycle show, if you go to an event that's loud, you go to a concert, you go anywhere. These things. If your wife snores, if you're traveling with me and we're in the same hotel room,
he snores.
Marcus can wear these and he doesn't hear me snoring. So
I still hear him. He's loud as hell.
Okay, so these come in this little handy dandy case. There are different models you can choose. Read through them, see what you think you would need. But the beautiful thing is, and a lot of people, what do motorcyclists say when they're talking about earplugs?
Majority of those old heads are like, you got to listen to your bike. Don't be wearing earplugs.
Yeah, you can't hear this. You can't hear that. You can with these. Okay.
We can have full-on conversations wearing them.
Absolutely. We can go into a gas station. You can have a conversation with the person behind the counter. You can talk about the gas you need. You can go into a store. You can pay for things. You can do whatever. We wear comms in our helmets. We can still hear these. We can still hear our music. The difference is these will knock down the decibels of what you're hearing. Okay.
By a lot.
Exhaust. Okay. So when we're on a long ride, we're doing this speed limit on the highway. The wind is whistling past your head, regardless of how much wind protection you have in front of you. The wind is whistling past you. Your music is playing in your ears. Your exhaust is going ham, and it's that constant, non-stop drone and whistle that you need to try to get rid of.
It's brutal.
And that's what these loops do.
I find that it mostly gets rid of like the deepness of it. Like as you said, that drone, that deepness,
or even that high whistle. It knocks that down too.
It makes such a huge difference, and people knock on them so much. Not just loops in general, but earbuds in general. People will knock on them. And then I found that anyone who has tried them and rode at least like a couple rides with them, now they only wear it. Like us. Like we like it every time. I will ride like down the street without them, but if it's a ride that's like, honestly for me, anything over like 20 minutes, I'm throwing those in every time.
I put them in every time. Because as soon as we put comms on, everything's too loud.
Yeah.
I have this little handy dandy carabiner. It has this little handy dandy hook. I can put that on there. I keep them with me all the time. I know exactly where they are. I've lost 2 or 3 pairs, but at 25 to 45 to whatever bucks they are, they're worth every single penny. Get yourself some loops. There's different options. I've tried the switch ones, didn't like them. I don't remember what these are called, but we'll put in the link in the description. But, and if you follow our affiliate link to Amazon, then we get a little bit of a cutback. So we'd appreciate you doing that too. But we have this one with the extra filter in here in the middle. It's really hard for me to pull out and show you, but it's got an individual little piece that goes in there. And basically they just filter out the noise. I think they're phenomenal. My kids wear them while they're on. My wife wears them while they're on with us. And everything's awesome. The other part is, if you're one of the cool diner bros or bagger bros that are rocking a Simpson, these Simpson helmets are so loud.
They're loud.
They're really, really loud. I have a Shoei up on my shelf over here that's dead quiet, amazing. There's other helmets out there that are way quieter than a Simpson, but they don't give you the same aesthetic. You need yourself some earbuds.
It's good.
Next on our list of wonders
is power.
Power? But
so,
bikes have all kinds of power.
They
horsepower?
Do. Not horsepower, but electric power.
So
we're not making an electric bike today, but however, we want to charge up some of our stuff.
Like what?
you could charge up your cell phone, you could charge up your buddy's cell phone, you can charge up your comms. So there's only really one way to get around this if your bike doesn't have any built-in USBs, and that's with this little device here.
Oh, wait. But my bike has a built-in USB. Yours has a built-in USB.
It does.
Why can't we just use those?
You could, but you can only use it while the bike's on. That's the drawback with these onboard USBs that are built into bikes, is that the bike needs to stay on to charge additionally. So what's handy about this little device is you hook it directly up to the battery itself, and it's got a little switch. Now the switch just allows you to power it on at any time. So what we do a lot is after a long ride, we're gonna get off the bike and we turn off our comms. It's like, hey, we're at 10%. So what we do is we throw it on the bike, we plug it into this, turn it on. I've never had my bike die from the battery. I've left it on for days by accident. No issues.
I don't want to tell everybody this on the internet, but I leave mine powered on all the time. The LED on my wireless head charger head is always on. I never shut it off. It's always on.
You can't. They're pretty great. They're only a 12 volt really, so they draw very little power. So they're handy in terms of not only can you just charge stuff, but when you're actually on the bike and riding, we have this hooked up to our wireless chargers. Now, this is a cheap little piece. I think they go from anywhere from 25 to 30 bucks.
Next to nothing.
You can get even bigger ones. I know Quadlock has their own version of this as well.
Which is what we have on both of our bikes.
Exactly.
This one is a little bit older. It actually has a voltage readout here if we did have it hooked up and powered in. They are both USB A, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's newer ones with USB-C and whatever else. The coolest thing is it's switch and it's waterproof. So this can work on any bike. This came off of my Nightster, my Sportster. But you could run this on a sport bike. You can run this on a Harley, a Bagger, whatever, a
Which
Yamaha,
we have.
Honda,
We've done it all.
whatever you want to ride. You can connect this directly to the battery and always have power, always be able to plug in your mics, your GoPro, your Insta360, your phone, your friend's phone, your comms, anything you need to plug in to get power while you're sitting still or while you're riding. It's always nice to have a secondary power source.
Yeah,
so that works and does all the tricks for you.
In this day and age, we need power all the time. You always need to charge your phone.
All the time.
So that's a great handy thing. I wouldn't have a bike without that every time now.
You need power.
Power.
More power. So next we have I think probably one of my best purchases I made, and
You didn't plan it.
I didn't plan it at all, So I had the CVO ST, and I really, 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 really love that carbon cowl on the back. I love the way that CVO ST seat looks, feels, and I don't want to change it out. Everybody, goes to a Saddlemen seat. Everybody.
It looks cool.
It looks cool. They're comfortable. They're great. Aesthetically, they look awesome. They hold you in there. The gripper's wicked. Their style is cool. I get it. It's cool. I had a Saddlemen on a Road Glide. I had a Saddlemen on a Lowrider ST. I absolutely love them. But we were down at Cherry Hill Harley-Davidson.
Yeah, the Outpost.
The Outpost, from Smoky Mountain Harley-Davidson. And we were down on one of our trips down south. And I saw one of these.
What is that?
It's a Saddlemen seat cover. So this is the actual guts of a Saddlemen seat put into a cover. Now this was exactly $100 US when I bought it. Okay. And I took it out and I sat on the seat. They let me, and it's the perfect shape. You can use this on any motorcycle. Again, this isn't just Harley. Okay. You can use this on a Triumph. You can use this on a sport bike. You can put it on whatever you want. There's a strap that comes with it. Okay. Velcro underneath. It straps to the underside of my seat. Velcro strap goes on. I can take it on and off the bike as I need to, throw it in the saddlebag, toss it, whatever I want to do. Now, on my old bikes, I have tried another system. It's called Airhawk. You can find those on Amazon. But this was probably one of my better purchases.
Is that the one that you pump up with air?
The Airhawk is, okay, but this one is the actual gel from the Saddlemen guts of the seat that you would get in a Saddlemen seat. So this was $100. A Saddlemen seat's going to cost you in Canada at least $700 to $1,000 to $1,200, depending on what application you're using. This will have the same. Now, if you are just a Sunday rider, you're going to the coffee shop, you're going down the street, you're doing something else, you're never going to work in a Saddlemen seat. Okay, so just a word to the wise, you need to spend some time on those seats to really work them in and get them contoured to you. This, again, was just the gel. It sits on top of my seat. I get to keep my aesthetic of the CVO. And it was a cheap add-on, and it makes me able to ride all those miles.
So one of the best add-ons in our opinions, we all like our full face helmets, the group we ride in, we all say full face is the best, safest bet for you. But the coolest and best addition to these, pretty cost effective as well, usually around 100, 110 bucks Canadian, is a tinted visor, right?
Ooh.
So helmets will always come with a clear visor, but these ones you can add on. These will be, I've got a chrome mirror finish. He's got a gold one there. There's plenty of other options. You can get transition ones. You can get all these different cool looking ones.
Blue, amber, orange, you can get all kinds of different ones depending on your riding.
You name it. And then with the clear one.
Oh, hold on. I think, Marcus, okay, let's give them some bonus footage here. Okay?
Absolutely.
Let's give them some of our knowledge and what we've gone through. Me personally, I think I own 13 helmets, I think, in total. And the reason for that, and I think as a new rider, you don't really think of anything except for cost, functionality, aesthetics, or looks when you're buying a helmet. But I think one thing that we never really thought of is where we're going with our helmet. What do we want it to do for us? So this is a little bit of bonus footage. We're going to get back to our top 5 here in a second. But when we take a look at our helmet, we need to think, be a little bit more forward thinking. We need to find a helmet that maybe is pin lock ready. We're going to get into that in a minute, but pin lock ready is a very important thing. We also need to think of, are we going to add communications to this helmet? Okay, so does it have cutouts in the ears? Does it have everything that we need to do? Does it fit your head correctly, right? There are different shapes to heads. There are different shells and different manufacturers that make a helmet to fit your head. So you have to go to the right manufacturer. Now, if you're a Dynabro, a Bagger Bro, you're going to have yourself a Simpson helmet. Reason why we go to those earbuds is because they're very loud. I have a Shoei that is fantastic. It just doesn't have the aesthetic, but it's a lot quieter. So some of the things to think of. Visor compatibility. Does the helmet you're buying have a set of tinted visors you can buy?
Or maybe they've got a built-in one as well.
Maybe they have a built-in one, right? And some people or some manufacturers will also do different colors on your inside shield as well. So maybe you want to stay with your clear and then do a high-def yellow underneath or a high-def blue to brighten up what you're seeing at night. So there's a lot of different features there that are available. So think of where your helmet and where you want it to go before you purchase. Is it pin lock compatible? Is it communications compatible? Are you buying something that maybe has a Sena product in it as a communications device and all of your friends are using Cardo? Or vice versa? Are you buying a Cardo system when all your friends are using Sena? Both manufacturers will say that they work together. We know for a fact they don't work together. They sometimes do, they sometimes don't. You're in with Bluetooth. Your guy gets two bikes behind you. Now the whole team is down. It's a real pain in the butt. So we found we have one guy in our group that constantly buys integrated communications in a helmet. They never work. Communication should be added after. In our opinion, we found that Cardo works the best for us and our group and our style of riding. And it's good. It all works.
So just always think that 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
A helmet does more than just protect your head.
Yes.
It does a lot more. There's so many things, and there's even so many things that are going to be added in the future as well. So kind of just future-proof yourself in terms of buying a helmet.
Yep.
So let's get back to the windshields.
Let's get back to it. So our comfort tip, tinted visor. Make sure you buy a helmet that you can build out and you can add the accessories that you want to it. And again, about 100, 110 bucks. That's for a Simpson. Here in Canada, it'll be cheaper in the US. Also, there's a number of different brands out there. It does not have to be a Simpson. It can be Shoei, HEC, Arai. It can be anybody. Pin lock compatible. And that's going to be our bonus. Bonus to our bonus is pin lock.
Pin lock. So pin lock, what it does, when you're on a hot day like today or at the nighttime when it's raining.
Or a rainy day.
Oh yeah, it's brutal. You stop at a light. There's no more wind that's flowing through your helmet anymore. First thing that happens, it fogs up and you have to open your visor. How do you prevent that? Get a pin lock. Pin lock adds this second layer inside.
Let me open it up for everybody. But think of it as a dual pane window glass, maybe in your house, right? Yeah. Your house windows aren't just one pane of glass; they're actually 2. So if you see, there's a separate little plastic sheet, very thin. It has a gasket all the way around it, and it fits on your pins that are on your helmet. Okay,
and
we'll give you a close look, and it locks in place. Hence the name pin lock. But we'll give you a little demonstration of what that looks like right here.
So the handy part about pin lock as well is it is available on so many visors. You don't need to just have it on your clear one, as you could see here. You could put it on your tinted ones. So when you swap out visors, you don't need to swap out your pin lock, have your visor break all the time. That actually happened to me. My pin lock actually ended up ripping because I was just swapping it out, 2-3 times a day, the morning, the midday, the nighttime. So just avoid that. Get 2 pin locks. They're even cheaper than buying a second visor as well.
They are.
These are going for like somewhere like 70, 80 bucks,
Yep.
even more. It depends on the visor, of course, and the helmet that you're getting.
Yep.
But they're one of the most cost effective, and honestly, it makes such a huge difference.
Oh, like there's nothing worse than opening up your visor when it's raining to get some airflow coming through and you getting pelted by rain coming down at 100 kilometers an hour right into your face. The pin lock works. I actually have on my gold mirrored, we talked about tinted, I actually have a transition pin lock underneath as well. So it actually darkens under more sunlight. So I've got double dark in my shield here as well. You can do, again, the high vis, you can do a high blue def, you can do an amber, you can do a clear, you can do the transition. So for 80 bucks, there's your 6th thing, little bonus feature from us here at Steel Mountain Moto. Listen, guys, stay tuned for more. We're going to try to give you more product information, some things that you need to think of. All you have to do is what?
Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you want to see in the next video.
And hit that bell notification. We'll let you know when there's new content that's uploaded. Let's see where our adventures take you. Appreciate you staying tuned.
Peace.
Peace.
Forgot to make the noises.